lovers, and welcome to the Liberty Mike podcast, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the heart of Dixie. I am Michael, and I am here with Liberty Larry.
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good. We're back.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. I had a couple of things that I had kind of planned to do, and I'm just...
Didn't do any of them.
Yeah, this is just evidence of how unprofessional this thing is.
And this little operation.
We have an old podcast that we recorded and never published with the intent that it was like a evergreen topic that we could publish anytime we were going to be out for more than a week.
This was that opportunity.
This was definitely that opportunity. But I didn't remember what was in it, and so I was going to record like a little intro to it, and then I was like, but I don't know how to intro it because I don't know what it is, and I don't have time to listen to it.
Yeah.
So I didn't. And then...
So nothing happened.
And then I thought I could do something kind of out of the ordinary because I've been thinking a lot about the importance of... or not the importance necessarily, the value, I guess, of reading fiction.
Oh, yeah.
But then I couldn't organize my thoughts well enough to like sit down and do a podcast. Not that I probably could have sat down in front of the mic for 20 minutes and just like off the top of my head talked about it and it would have been okay.
Yeah.
But I was hoping to like reference some specific works.
Yeah.
You know, and I had some in my head, but it's like trying to make a list of your like top 5 or 10 favorite books.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's not a problem for a lot of people, but if you look at my bookshelves, you'd be like, how in the hell would you ever narrow that down to 5 or 10?
Yeah.
And the answer is I can't.
Right?
There's no
the
way.
only way you could do is to rank them and then like update that rankings periodically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you'd have to like actively keep up with what your top 5 are.
Yeah. And if I was going to do that, then I may as well be a booktuber and not do this.
Yeah. Booktubing's cool.
Yeah. I guess those people make some money, so
yeah. Well, maybe.
We're not making any money off of this. It seems like a better investment of my time if I was going to do that. Why would I do it on the podcast? Why wouldn't I just do it on YouTube like other people that are reviewing books on YouTube?
Yeah.
Which may be a future project for me anyway, but not yet.
Not there yet. So
this could have been a trial run.
Right.
All right. So, but I ended up not doing that either, obviously. Yeah. And so here we are. We had staggered vacations and it worked out poorly.
This time.
This time, yeah.
So we got to talk about the breaking news.
Which is
the
what?
big news of the week. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged.
Oh. Congratulations to them.
You sound about as excited as I was when it was popping up on every news. Like I follow a lot of sports and like ESPN, like I've got like 2 different ESPN apps. They're both giving me updates about it. And
yeah, they're doing, I think the NFL's doing their best to use Taylor Swift to renew interest in their brand.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know that that's going to work.
She's a way bigger brand than they are.
You think so? I'm not saying she ain't big.
So.
I mean, she's big, but I don't think she's bigger than the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you may be right.
They've lost a lot.
They have lost over the
last
years.
5 years or so.
Yeah.
Maybe more since COVID started.
Yeah,
no, probably before that.
It started before because they got into a whole
10 years.
bunch of the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yeah.
Like they lost a lot of folks over that. But I think a lot of those people have came back though.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But yeah, that was the big news. Like there was one person in my house that was ecstatic. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
She's excited about that?
I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's important to her.
Okay.
So
I thought maybe she'd be disappointed that
that Taylor Swift is off the market.
Well, that's not exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
She's always been kind of a girls rule, boys drool kind of type anyway. I was thinking more in the line of like, Taylor is like, committing herself to some guy. Like, she didn't need no man, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. No, doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
So.
She's been propagandized
into
celebrating
being a Travis Kelce fan.
Yeah. Celebrating the engagement of.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
So now we got to talk about that the rest of the podcast.
I've said all I have to say, I think.
That's all you got?
Yeah. I wasn't even aware. That's how connected I am.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, like I say, multiple, like it's like notifications all over the place when it happened.
I'm glad I don't have any of that stuff set up.
I was going to say, you would not have enjoyed having my phone.
Yeah. Throw it in a lake, man.
Yeah. Well, it's tempting sometimes.
I bet. Okay. Next on the agenda.
As far as real news.
As far as real news. I don't know how real this news is either.
Yeah.
It kind of is. But it's a topic we've discussed many times over the years on this podcast. How stupid it is. So then President Trump signed an executive order to criminalize flag burning.
Ooh.
And of course, this was one of my direct confrontations with our old representative down here, Bradley Byrne.
Good old Mr. Burns.
Was about flag burning because he was always sponsoring a constitutional amendment to criminalize flag burning.
Yeah.
And I finally just I kept hounding him about it and how ridiculous it was, and to threaten criminal prosecution for people for desecrating the symbol of our freedom.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, you see the problem here, right? Don't you? Shouldn't I be able to dispose of my property however I see fit? Isn't that the freedom that we're... And I told him I thought he was more intent on protecting the symbol that he's forgotten what it was a symbol of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he, at that point, gave me a very curt response that said, well, I disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of that.
He's like, you're standing in the way of me pandering, because that's all it is. Yeah. And that's all it is with Trump too. This is a way for him to pander to the military community and that type of thing.
He's probably considered that too. Trump, I actually think, is a true believer in that sense. I think the guy is actually a genuinely patriotic, love this country. It's offensive for people to burn the flag, and now he's got the power to do something about it. I'm sure that it got focus grouped or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Beforehand, but I think that this is something that he might have done even if people were against it.
Yeah, it's possible. He's definitely that type of patriot. I won't take that away from him.
Yeah. But again, it's stupid. I might still have it pulled up. If I still have it pulled up, I just want to read the part of the intro
of the executive order.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, I got rid of it. Dang. Maybe I can pull it up real quickly.
But the idea of criminalizing that it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, I can get to it pretty quickly. All right, executive orders. Prosecuting burning of the flag. Here we are. And this is exactly the kind of stuff that I was telling Bradley Byrne was stupid. Our great American flag is the most sacred and cherished symbol of the United States of America and of American freedom.
Read that last part again.
And American freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's this part a little bit farther down. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Well, I can't find it again. But there's something about it's an attack on our rights to burn the flag, and
isn't it an attack on our rights to not let us burn the flag?
Exactly. So,
which rights are more important?
This is again, it's it's raising the symbol above what it is a symbol of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem I have with it.
And for the record, I'm not a big fan of burning flags. I'm not going to run out into the street and start burning one. But
neither am I yet.
Well, but it should show somebody doing that the idea is it's an expression of anger.
Yeah, with the government.
With the government.
I mean, he says it's an attack on the American people, and I say no. It's a protest against the American government.
Yeah.
And it's a time-honored tradition too. I mean, our forefathers were burning British flags.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't blame them, but
yeah, but in the same sense, like I think that our founding fathers would have been appalled at the idea of criminalizing burning the American flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Because to them, the flag burning was an important symbol of rebellion against an unjust government.
Yeah, if the government is doing that bad of a job, then this is the way we tell them that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it's better than shooting at them.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's step 2.
Yeah. So, I'm really in opposition to this. Now, having read the executive order, it's not as bad as it sounds on the surface.
Yeah.
I don't know how the news is reporting it, honestly, because I haven't.
I mean, the biggest thing
that I consume.
The biggest thing I've heard is like a 1-year penalty or whatever, or like jail time for a year for burning a flag. Like that's kind of what I've heard reported, but like just here and there, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's more time than you get for DUI.
Yeah.
Which I also think is a stupid law, but
or being part of a pedophile ring.
Yeah, I guess.
Like if you,
has that been tested? I don't know. Only among a few people, I guess.
Yeah.
You got to be in the right pedophile ring to not get a lot of time for that.
I guess.
So, but having read it, it's more like hate crime laws, which again I'm opposed to. Yeah. But it looks like they recognize within the executive order the First Amendment protections.
Yeah.
And so what they're trying to do is that they're using it as an add-on offense if you're burning a flag while committing another crime.
Yeah.
That's the bulk of it.
Yeah. Something they can use to kind of stack offenses.
Yeah, exactly. And now it does like urge law enforcement to look for any crime that they might be able to apply.
Yeah.
If somebody's also burning a flag, and they even mention like, you know, burning in a place where you're not allowed to burn stuff or things like that.
Right.
You know, like
Baldwin County's got a burn ban, so I can't burn my flag today.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
gotta wait till it rains.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like it, but it's not as bad as it sounded at first.
Well, and it's not as bad as it's reported because, like I say, I mean there's been a lot of sky is falling reporting, but that's always.
And I don't know that any prosecution under this would actually stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. If it went to the Supreme Court and got challenged, I think that it would get thrown out.
Well, and he talks a lot about foreign nationals in the executive order.
It's an excuse to deport people.
And so it makes it very easily to try to, you know, which honestly, if you're here illegally, you should probably just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
Like maybe that's a step too far. I don't mind you complaining about things that the government's doing.
Yeah.
Particularly if it's things that the government's doing to your home country.
Yeah.
But maybe you should stop short of burning a flag.
Yeah.
And you definitely should now.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, but like in that same vein, I suppose is that Texas has a bill to force public schools to post the 10 Commandments in every classroom.
Interesting.
Now, I don't have a problem with the 10 Commandments being in the classroom. Like this separation of church and state is
like if
is not properly understood, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, if a teacher wants to put the 10 Commandments up in their classroom, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
If a teacher wants to put up any other religious symbol, frankly, I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm. Put a Buddha in there.
Yeah, sure. Or Vishnu or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with the state making it compulsory.
Yeah, that it must be.
Yeah. That I think is crossing the line of the constitutional constitutional
church and state.
Yeah. Well, what the Constitution says is that the state will make no establishment of a religion, so there will be no state religion.
Yeah.
But when you're compelling all the teaching institutions, particularly, to post a symbol of a particular religion, I think that you're at least coming dangerously close to that line.
Yeah, it's weird to me the whole like. So we would have to have like, I guess the state would like provide you with the poster that has to be posted in the room. Like, what is it?
No, you have to buy it out of your own salary, teacher's salary.
But it just seems weird though that we're gonna all have the same, because what'll end up happening is every classroom will have like the same poster of the 10 Commandments or whatever it is, and it just when you force it down that way, it just loses something as far as. Like, I don't know.
It just becomes like the those posters at your office, like all the things about your worker protections or whatever that are the same everywhere, and they're all posted in the break room in every office or place of business in the entire country, and nobody ever looks at it. Ever. It's just like annoying graffiti at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Annoying graffiti is a good way to put it.
Yeah,
like that's what I see that becoming, and it just like why would you even want to bother? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's already running into problems. I don't think anything will come of it. But I thought it was worth mentioning just because it like those kind of things become that constitutional test, and there is a misunderstanding of the separation of church and state. It's not that there will be no church in the state. Yeah. It's not that they're like the abolition of religion within public industries isn't the right word, but like in the public sector.
Sphere, yeah.
Yeah. It's not the abolition of religious symbols there, but when the state is compelling,
being sanctioned by the government is kind of the way I look at it.
Well, even sanctioned isn't a problem, because sanctioned could be like, you can put up 10 Commandments in the classroom, and I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But when you say you have to...
Yeah. Well, it's the same problem that you run into like when the valedictorian gives their speech and says a prayer during it or something like that. People get all up in arms, and it's like, I mean, it's not saying that we can't have religion in the school. It's just saying that it shouldn't be mandated through the school.
Well, there's that coach that went out in the middle of the field, football coach somewhere or another, that went out in the middle of the field and said a prayer at the end of every game, and like most of his players went out and joined him. Yeah. And there were like people were up in arms about that. Like that became a case, I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember how it ended now. But that's the kind of thing I don't have a problem with. Yeah. Although I am sympathetic to the argument that because the coach is doing it, even though it's not compulsory for his players, it does put some like kind of implied pressure on them to participate if they want to participate.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be part of this team. This is how you be part of the team.
Yeah. So I don't like that, but I don't think that it
doesn't rise to the level.
Yeah. I mean, that's not something. That's not even the school compelling them to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's definitely not the state compelling them to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Because I find it to be an interesting like case study, I suppose. Yeah. Of like where is the line?
Yeah.
And I don't know that this crosses it, but if it doesn't, like I said, I think it's dangerously close.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's over the line just because it's coming from the state. Mm-hmm. Like kind of like what you're saying. If a teacher chooses to do that, that's one thing. But but
state compulsion puts it in a whole different arena.
It puts it in another arena.
Yeah. Okay, we're hitting a lot of stuff because we hadn't been here in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be like short and sweet, hopefully. Yeah. Each individual topic. Yeah. Yeah. And yes, we will address the meeting in Alaska between Trump and Putin. Oh, yeah. Like that's coming. It's just not yet. Yeah. I got some other things I want to get out of the way first.
All right.
But so one of those other things, and this is again, I think, an area where the government is crossing the line. That could just be the title of the show, I suppose. Right. Like this podcast in general, government crossing the line. Yeah. Is that the federal government has announced that they're taking a 10% stake in Intel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now, like I've got a whole bunch of problems with this.
Yeah.
One is that the tax base is not like an investment fund for the Trump administration.
It's amazing. Like that man just looks at everything from a business angle, and that's all this boils down to. Is he's like, oh, we need more chips in this country, so let's invest in Intel, and then we'll take a stake in the company. And it's like, it's just let the free market do its thing.
Yeah, if we got tax rebates based on the profitability of Intel after this, I might relax my stance a little bit, but I don't see that happening.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
No. But yeah, the tax base isn't an investment fund.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that like this industry is not one that is short on funds.
Well,
there's tons of money pouring into the this sector with chips and AI and so forth. All this tech stuff has plenty of investment.
Yeah.
It does not need to take my money out of my pocket and to invest it.
No, absolutely.
Besides the fact that the government should never be a part of the market, and the government taking a 10% stake in Intel, I think that probably means that Intel is now too big to fail.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like, so if things go poorly for Intel in the future,
which the
taxpayers on the line for it,
because this also creates a situation where it's behooves them to be more reckless.
Yes,
because they know that Uncle Sam's coming to bail them out one way or the other.
Right.
So why not take those riskier positions and moves? Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh gosh.
And the truth is if the making the chips is that big a deal, you could probably cut a lot of government red tape to spur that industry if it's that necessary for that industry to be spurred.
Yeah. Like if you want more houses in this country, you don't have to take a government investment in the housing market. You just reduce some of the restrictions on building new housing.
Yeah, yeah. Believe me, there's enough restrictions out there that we can lose a few and the houses aren't going to collapse.
Right. And the same with this. But like it is completely unnecessary anyway, just because the tech sector is one of the biggest investments, like the biggest focuses of private investment anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
And taxation is theft. So
so put down your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me think of Robin Hood. Because there's always the talk about like, oh, well, as far as taxation, like, well, you just robbing from the rich and to feed the poor. Like, no, that's not what Robin Hood was doing. He wasn't robbing from rich entrepreneurs and people who had been successes in life. He was robbing from the government taking the tax money that was already robbed from the people and giving it back to the people. Same thing.
He was
He was like a real libertarian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So people just like
and
block that out about
the way
that
taxes
story.
work is stupid anyway, because you're basically like taking from the poor and giving to the rich.
In a lot of cases,
in a lot of ways,
Yeah. I mean, the real problem there is the Federal Reserve and their control of the money supply. Yeah. That's what really makes the rich richer.
Yeah.
But that could be an entire podcast on its own, and has been, I think, on this podcast before. So, not gonna.
No sense in going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, not today. Anyway, we got too many things to cover.
Yeah.
We could do some other things before war, or we could talk about war now. What do you think? Probably
going to do war now, so we're not closing on it.
Okay. Well, then people can turn off the podcast and not hear about all the terrible things. Yeah. No, it's not a terrible thing, though. I mean, the war is. But this meeting between Trump and Putin in Alaska, I think is fantastic. Yeah. I think it's a waste in the sense of I don't think that it's going to accomplish a peace.
Well, it hasn't. I mean, it's been 2 weeks now.
Yeah. But I think that there's a lot of symbolism that was important in it. I think inviting Putin to come to Alaska set foot on U.S. soil, even though like there's the other side of the symbolism that he's setting foot on what used to be Russian soil that they sold to America. But that's, that's ancient history at this point. But just inviting him here and not arresting him.
Yeah, which apparently they had to like, what was it I saw? They had to like give him some kind of waiver or something.
Yeah.
I saw something about it that he was granted a waiver to come to the U.S. and not be arrested. Like, I don't know the specifics on that, but I did see some reporting on it.
It would have been stupid since we don't abide by anything the ICC says anyway.
I mean, what are we really going to do? I mean, we're really going to arrest Putin when he's here, and when we've coaxed him here to the U.S. and then arrest him? Like how does that not turn into World War III?
I mean, that would be kind of par for the course. Like, we're in negotiations with Iran, but we're also just going to go ahead and drop bombs on them before the next meeting.
Yeah, but the difference is I guess Iran can touch us over there, but like Russia can touch us here.
Yeah, that's true.
And you really think the people in Russia are just going to let us take Putin and
yeah. Well, and there's more of a real intent on Trump's part to get this war settled.
I do believe he genuinely wants to end this war.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's sincere about that. And the truth is I think he was serious about it ending it on day one. I think that when he was running, he really thought that he could unwind this thing that quick.
Yeah.
But the truth is he didn't understand that Russia has
that both sides are intransigent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, well, that's the other side. I think he thought he'd have a little more sway over Ukraine than what he actually does.
Yeah.
Which he could have a lot more sway over Ukraine if he just used it, but he won't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the situation where he probably thought like, well, if Russia will give a little bit and Ukraine will give a little bit, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And Russia's like, why should we give a little bit? We're winning.
Exactly.
And Ukraine was like, we're not giving anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Period.
We're not going to give in to a war of aggression.
Oh, gosh.
Well, like, if you're losing the war of aggression, then at some point you got to give, right?
Yeah, well, it's either that or lose your country. I mean,
all right.
At some point you got to make a choice.
Yeah.
Like, it always ends at the negotiating table anyway, unless you're working your way towards genocide.
Yeah. Right.
So, like, those are really the only options. You either negotiate a peace or somebody gets wiped out entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's got to end one of those two ways. But I think I think just the symbolism of having Putin come over here, meet face to face with Trump. I think that is important. I think Trump hearing from Putin directly, his perspective and position is important, because I do have doubts about the way his advisors are presenting information to him about this war.
Yeah, you have to have those doubts because, I mean, it seems to be a tradition in his administrations.
Well, yeah. Trump told us to get all the troops out of Syria, so we just didn't tell him about them.
Yeah, so we just left them there and didn't mention it.
Good grief. Yeah, somebody should go to jail for that,
yeah.
too. That is treason.
Yeah, like, and the by definition.
Yeah. So I think it was important for Trump to hear directly from Putin what his position and perspective on this was. I think that it brought it more into the light of major media. Like, they couldn't not cover some of this information. So I think it is more. It's better known now that while the West has been talking about. Has essentially truncated the antecedents, as the phrase goes, of everything started on February 24th, 2022. And Putin and Russia's perspective is clearly that the war started much earlier than that.
Yeah.
That the war started at least in 2014 with the coup that overthrew the democratically elected government of Ukraine that was making a deal with Russia and installed the people that the U.S. government said should be installed, that was more a Western-leaning government. And then, of course, the Donbass, I guess I'm going to review this history right here. It's not like I haven't done it enough times before, but we may as well do a quick overview. Those Donbass regions, Donetsk and Luhansk, immediately rejected the installed administration and said that they would rather be Russian. The Russians didn't want those two provinces at the time, and then they came to the agreement after some period of the Kiev government dropping bombs and artillery on the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. And of course, I should back up a little bit and say that one of the first things that the new government in Kiev after the coup in 2014 did was outlaw Russian language.
Which is their native language.
Yeah, so these people in the east and south of Ukraine are ethnically Russian, speak Russian, want to teach their kids Russian, want to maintain Russian traditions, and the central government of Ukraine at that point essentially made that illegal.
Yeah,
and so they had a problem with that.
Yeah, imagine that.
And then there's been essentially a civil war going on. I say essentially, there has been a civil war going on in Ukraine since that time.
Yeah.
With the Kiev government attacking its own people, though Russian ethnic but Ukrainian citizens in the east of Ukraine. And there was a lot of pressure within Russia for the Russian government to do something to protect those people.
Yeah.
Which they have tried to do, and they made negotiations, and they came to the Minsk Accords that were co-signed by Western powers, France, Germany, among others.
Yeah.
And Ukraine, France, Germany, and Russia were the primary parties to the agreement. And the agreement was that the Donetsk and Luhansk regions would get a level of autonomy, political autonomy, but they would still remain a part of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And actually, Zelensky was elected into office pledging to honor that agreement.
Yeah.
But he hasn't.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And so then Russia asked over and over again. There's been a couple of issues here. Primary one for the Russian state has been the encroachment of an antagonistic military alliance towards their border. And they drew the line at Ukraine. They're like, you cannot have NATO military in Ukraine. And everybody was intent on bringing Ukraine into NATO. And Russia said, we cannot permit this under any circumstances. We need to have a talk about European security and our security. Yeah. And with the recognition that we have our own security concerns.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the West kept rejecting even talking about it.
Yeah.
And so finally Russia made the decision that the only thing that they couldn't negotiate because we refused to negotiate and they had no other options. They made that decision. I'm not saying that that's the correct decision, but that's the decision that was made. I mean, I think that there were some more doors that could have been opened potentially before the invasion, but Russia came to a not unreasonable conclusion that negotiations were off the table, and the only way that they could achieve their own security or ameliorate their security concerns was to invade Ukraine.
Yeah.
So they recognized the independence of Donetsk and Luhansk, and then they invaded is our word. Their word is that they went in to protect the Russian ethnic people in these independent now provinces. So, differing perspectives on that certainly. But and now Zaporizhia and what's the other one? Zaporizhia. All right, so Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and is it Kherson?
Maybe.
Is that the other province? Anyway, there's a fourth province, and of course Crimea was Russian all the time.
Yeah.
So now Russia's claiming all of these provinces. They have had I mean, you can quibble about whether they were legitimate or not, but they have had votes in these provinces about whether they would rather be Ukrainian or Russian.
Yeah.
And they chose Russian.
Yeah.
So here we are. And Russia says in their own constitution that they cannot abandon those provinces now that they're part of Russia.
Yeah.
And Ukraine says that they're not giving up any territory.
I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, you got to take it back, and they don't have the ability to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and I do see from their perspective some places where this is a problem. Like, Russia doesn't control all of those territories. Yeah. So you are telling Ukraine that they need to abandon land that they actually currently control.
Yeah.
I understand their problem with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, like, why would the Kiev government even want these territories? They don't want to be a part of your nation.
Yeah.
They'll just be trouble.
Yeah.
They'll be trouble for Russia, too. Wouldn't you rather they be trouble for Russia than trouble for you?
Yeah, you would think.
I don't know. But more came out of it than that, and I think that we should listen to what Witkoff had to say after this meeting. Okay. Because I think that these issues are important. So let's listen to him, and then we'll continue.
All right.
Robust security guarantees that I would describe as game-changing. We didn't think that we were anywhere close to agreeing to Article 5 protection from the United States, in legislative enshrinement within the Russian Federation, not to go after any other territory when the peace deal is codified, legislative enshrinement in the Russian Federation, not to go after any other European countries and violate their sovereignty. So we agreed to there was plenty more.
Okay, so there was some progress made. The Article 5 protections by the United States, I almost feel like that must have been a misunderstanding. I kind of doubt.
Well, no, so here's my take on that. My understanding is what we're doing right now for Ukraine would qualify, like if a NATO country like invoked the Article 5.
Oh yeah, there's not a compulsion to actually engage
put boots
in
on
war.
The ground. Yeah, you just have to give aid and support, which
right.
we've gave plenty of to Ukraine. So it's not really that surprising.
I think it's even looser than that. It's like the steps that they feel necessary or something like that.
Yeah, it's vague. It's a lot vaguer than people think. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the reason that Russia was probably okay to agree to it, was because, I mean, we're already doing it anyway.
Yeah.
In this war, so to think that we wouldn't do it again in another war, I mean, I just don't feel like they're giving up much. They're not giving up as much.
They're not giving up anything. That's the funny thing about this. Part of what I think is really important about that is that they said legislative enshrinement. Now, this would probably be a tit for tat kind of thing.
Yeah.
A quid pro quo, if you will.
Yeah.
The Russians would enshrine in their constitution that they wouldn't seek to capture any more Ukrainian territory than what's settled with the agreement, and that they wouldn't try to capture territory of any other EU nation, or however he said that. I can't remember exactly. Any other European nation or any other EU nation or whatever.
Something like that.
Because the Russians had no intention of capturing any more anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly.
At whatever point the war ends.
Yeah.
Now, I think the longer that the war goes on, the more territory the Russians will capture. I mean, I think that they would love to have Odessa. There's another territory between the farthest western territory that they've already claimed and the Odessa territories.
Yeah.
Would want to capture that too. You don't want the Ukrainians to control a piece of territory between two of your territories.
Yeah.
I mean, Mearsheimer's been pushing that he thought if the war goes on that the Russians would be looking to capture 4 more oblasts.
Yeah.
So they've already captured 4 plus Crimea,
essentially.
They've already claimed 4 plus Crimea.
Yeah.
And that they would want to capture another 4, cut off the entire coastline from what's left of Ukraine after that, and have roughly 40% of what was Ukraine before this war began. Right now they have about 20 to 25%. of what was Ukraine before the war began, under their control. So anyway, better now than later. But the point that I was getting at is that, despite all of this talk about how Russia wants to recapture the Soviet Union and like roll right through Europe and so forth, like they never had any intention of doing any of that. And so they're perfectly content enshrining in legislation that they won't try and capture that because they didn't want to anyway.
Yeah, it was never the point.
Yeah. Now, I think to illustrate the point further, the Europeans, who have been mostly the ones saying how Russia was just going to keep on rolling after they captured Ukraine, they would just move on to other European states and just keep capturing territory. They don't take that seriously either. They have been pushing towards building up their military in the EU and establishing an EU army and so forth, and rolling out much greater military production. But they're talking about doing it over 5 or 10 years. If they were really serious, if they really seriously thought that the Russians were on the verge of starting to capture more of their territory, they wouldn't be looking a decade in the future to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what I think the Europeans are doing is that they're trying to convert their struggling economies into what they see in the U.S. as a more stable militarist economy that we have, where we're dumping a quarter of the nation's budget into military concerns, and that seems to be working out for us. And I think that that's a mistake on their part, because
it's not working out as well as you'd think.
Exactly, and the only reason it's working at all is because we have the dollar.
Yeah.
They don't have the dollar. They have the euro. The dollar is what makes this possible. If we didn't have the world's reserve currency, this would not work. Yeah. At all. Like, it would have failed long ago, I think.
Well, maybe they intend to make the euro the world's currency.
Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, they've wanted to do that, but
because here's the other thing,
just haven't been able to.
Like, here's something that I do think that they recognize, is that the U.S. uses those dollars to support a growing military to ensure that everybody continues to use those dollars.
Yeah, no, that's the truth.
That the U.S. uses economic and military warfare to maintain dollar dominance.
Yeah. So, well, and they want to play the same game we are. We're just decades and decades and decades ahead of them.
Yeah. I mean, so the U.S. prints, borrows, and steals dollars to fund a military to ensure that the dollar remains the dominant currency.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny little situation. But it's not working as well. We're $36 trillion in debt now. Yeah. And the debt just continues to balloon and balloon and balloon. So this will fall apart eventually. Oh yeah. Then maybe is their moment.
Well, I think that that's what they're looking at, though, is that this is going to blow up in our face at some point. Mm-hmm. And that's when
they want to get a jump start on blowing up in their face.
Well, of taking it over.
Yeah. So that it eventually
being
blows
what comes
up in
after
their face.
us. Yeah. Exactly. But they'll do it better than we did. So.
Oh yeah, like communism.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think all of this is a disaster waiting to happen. But I do think. Okay, so I did want to mention also. It wasn't in that response. I thought it was originally. I'm pretty sure where I heard this was Daniel Davis on his podcast, Daniel Davis Deep Dive. This is the Colonel Daniel Davis who was the Iraq whistleblower.
Okay.
Anyway, he had an interview with Russian ambassador Dmitry Polyansky. I think Dmitry Polyansky, is the second most important ambassador. Honestly, I can't remember if it's to the UN or to the US. I think it was to the US, but it might have been to the UN.
Yeah.
These are things that I should probably write down. But I didn't pull this clip because I was listening to it doing who knows what, and I didn't have the chance to pull it then, and I thought it was in the Witkoff clip, but it wasn't. And when I realized it wasn't, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was from, so it might not even be the right person still. But I think it was this guy, Dmitry Polyansky. I'm going to assume so. and say that in his discussion with Danny Davis, he also talked about that, like, some of the things that they talked about at this meeting was not renewing, creating new nuclear treaties.
Yeah.
That have been dismantled.
I was going to say,
the years.
since we've dismantled a ton of them.
And I can't stress enough how important I think that is.
Yeah.
Like, if they kept fighting in Ukraine until Russia captured 4 more oblasts and completely obliterated the Ukrainian army, I would be okay with it, honestly, if we created some new nuke treaties.
Yeah. Afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the meantime, I don't care.
In the meantime, yeah.
Anytime.
Any point. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime is fine for me with that. So I think that's that could be an important corollary to these discussions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my point there is really that if that was in fact discussed there and they came to an agreement of at least some kind of starting framework for some new nuclear treaties, then it was absolutely worth that meeting.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah. Now, what I think Trump is really doing here is he is giving himself an out.
Yeah.
To disentangle the United States from this conflict.
Yeah.
I think that what he's doing is he's saying, okay, hey, I made some arrangements. This is a pretty good deal for Ukraine. Like, the alternative is worse. This is as good as it's going to get. But they need to agree to it, and the Europeans need to agree to it. And so now he's set up a situation where if they don't, he can say, well, we did everything that we could.
Yeah. The problem
and he's continuing to provide, military hardware to Ukraine, the secondary sanctions stuff, which is stupid, but he's doing
it, yeah.
So that's protecting his flank on this.
Yeah.
So that he can say, yeah, I mean, we tried to make a deal. They're not willing to negotiate. We've done what we can to try and hurt the Russians and put them in less of a dominant position. But Ukraine doesn't want to deal. We've done everything that we can. We're done with this.
Yeah. The question is will we really be done with it? Does Trump really have the gall to walk away from this?
Well, I mean, I hope so. I think that
I hope so too, but I just feel like if he did, that he would have done it a lot sooner in this process than he has.
No, I think that earlier in the process, he thought that he was going to be the great hero that was going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Now that he's realizing he can't solve the problem, he's setting himself up to be able to exit without taking a loss.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I mean, I do get that. I just don't think. I think he's underestimating the power of us walking away, because I do feel like if he would truly did walk away from Ukraine, that this war would be over quicker.
Oh, absolutely, it would. But then he would face the accusation that he cost them the war.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean,
that is Trump's fault. If Trump had continued to supply Ukraine with what they needed, then they wouldn't have lost. Well, it's Trump's fault that they lost.
Because there's still a lot of people out there that thinks Ukraine can still win this.
Yeah,
I mean, I
those
hear it.
Those people are completely uninformed.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they're out there. I've talked to some of them. So
yeah,
I mean,
I don't think that there's anybody in a position that a position like an influential position, a position where they could do anything about this on either side.
Yeah,
that believes that Ukraine can win.
Except Zelensky.
Well, maybe there have been reports that he's completely delusional and so forth. But
yeah,
I mean, people have been telling him.
Yeah, right.
Leaders of very powerful nations have been saying over and over
that you got this.
Yeah, so it's possible. I mean, I think it's honestly more likely that he's an actor, He's maintaining the front. He's showing that confidence. He's showing that he's a tough guy, and he's squirreling away millions and millions and millions of dollars.
This is very profitable for him personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. I couldn't. Maybe I'm reading the man completely wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay. This podcast isn't actually as long as I thought it was so far.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we got a little time to hit a couple more things that I wanted to hit. That's great. And this way, war is not the last thing we talk about. So
there you go.
Yeah. All right. So I guess they're making it sound like it's the first time in history. I haven't been able to verify that it's the first time in history, but health professional organizations are putting out their own vaccine recommendations lists after the CDC has updated theirs.
Ah, okay.
So the CDC has removed, of course, the COVID vaccine from the recommended vaccines for children. Yeah. And the American Association of Pediatrics, American Academy of Pediatrics. It's AAP. It's one of those. I think it's the American Academy of Pediatrics. Disagrees with the CDC and has put out their own list of recommendations, vaccine recommendations, which includes the COVID vax, and says that that they recommend that all infants 6 months to 2 years receive the COVID vaccine.
Man, how many people I'd like to see the numbers on how many people have done that.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that they say is that infants are at high risk from COVID.
Good night.
And so they need to get this vaccine. Now, my memory of the statistics is that essentially no children died of COVID.
Yeah. I mean,
there were some children that died with COVID that had serious other problems, but that's of course one of the things that the American Academy of Pediatrics, I'm just going to call it the AAP from here because I don't know if it's Academy or Association, but the AAP has said about this is that you don't know at that age if they're immune compromised, and so it's important to get the vaccine because you don't know how dangerous it could be to them, and you don't want the first exposure to the spike protein to be with the virus.
Yeah.
You'd rather it be with the vaccine, would you? Though that's for parents to decide. But I think that it's
and I'm all good with parents making that decision. I mean, that's kind of your job. But
this sets up an interesting kind of conflict, especially for us, though.
Yeah.
Because I think it works backwards for the people that are most likely to listen.
Yeah.
Because you have to make a decision of who you trust more.
Yeah.
The American Academy of Pediatrics, who has a vested monetary profit incentive to advocate for you getting more vaccines.
Yeah.
Since they literally are rewarded for the more vaccines that they give.
Yeah.
Or the government.
Well, I mean,
who do you trust more on this issue?
Well, you have to. It is funny that we would fall on the side that we do in this, but it's about who's in the government. I mean, who's making those decisions there?
Yeah.
Right now there's an administration that I would trust a little more than the previous administration for sure.
Yeah.
At least on this subject.
Mm-hmm. And on the war thing, regardless of whether Trump accomplishes anything with Ukraine and Russia, at least he's talking. That's an improvement over the last administration.
Trying.
So, I think it's funny that you set up this weird conflict to decide who, because I think it's fair to say that people on the left are more pro-vaccine, particularly COVID vaccine.
Oh, that's more than fair. I've spent a lot of time on the internet the past couple of weeks, and let me tell you, it's been
I hope the internet does not represent real life.
Well, I mean, I think it comes pretty close when it comes to the left-right divide.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the internet's a pretty fair gauge of that, and it's a dirty, dirty place.
So, but now they have to side with the greedy capitalists.
Right. Oh, but they won't see it that way. They'll see it as the resistance.
Yeah. It is funny to me how both sides are willing to, like, if administration of the opposition, okay, let's start with an administration of the party that you support.
Okay.
If an administration of the party you support is advocating for a particular policy, you're all on board. And then the next administration from the opposition party enters office, they advocate for the exact same policy, and now you're against it.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me to watch.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the actual policies of most administrations, there's not much difference.
Not normally, yeah.
This administration is an outlier for good or ill.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
And I would still say that the vast majority of policy prescriptions are the same as any other administration.
Yeah.
But even though there are a few, there are more than normal that are outside the box.
Yeah.
Now, what I also think is a little funny, and this is kind of related, but it's a different story, and we're not really going to go into the story very much. I just want to highlight a phrase that I heard in the news reporting on this that I found really interesting, which is it was a report about Russiagate and Tulsi Gabbard releasing all this information about what was going on behind the scenes in the Russiagate accusations about the Obama administration, their actions where they were asking for intelligence reports that said a specific thing that was different from what the initial intelligence reports said, and all this stuff. All right, so hopefully we're mostly caught up as a group on that.
Yeah.
But they were talking specifically about for the new intel report, saying what the Obama administration wanted it to say, that they were using the Steele dossier. And the news reporter said of the Steele dossier, quote, widely considered to have been discredited. So it's leaving it open that this could be a real thing, although I think it's funny, especially in contrast to the last story about the vaccines.
Yeah.
Where every time they mention HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Advocating the debunked idea that vaccines may be related to autism.
Yeah.
They don't ever say about his idea that vaccines may be related to autism, that is a widely considered to have been discredited belief.
Yeah. No, it's been debunked.
That one's been debunked, but the Steele dossier is widely considered to have been discredited.
Yeah, it hasn't been debunked yet, so it hasn't rose to the level of debunking.
I suppose. I just think that that's really funny, and I wanted to draw attention to it.
That is funny.
When I heard that phrase, I was like, what did he say? I backed it up. Widely considered to have been discredited. Okay. We are really jumping through hoops to make sure that we don't tell people that this is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely accepted that it was wrong. We know everything about it. It was absolutely wrong.
Yeah. That all the information in it that's true is public information that isn't at all salacious, and all the salacious stuff there's absolutely no evidence for.
Yeah, none.
So that's widely considered to have been discredited. Widely considered to have been discredited. I just think that's a funny phrase. Yeah. I'm going to incorporate that into my own life. I'm going to try and use that one a lot more. Yeah. This idea is widely considered to have been discredited. The belief that giraffes can grow their necks because they want to is a theory that is widely considered to have been discredited.
Yeah. Okay. But, oh man.
That's all I got. Is there anything else that you wanted to hit before we go? Yeah, there was something.
Just real quick, the Minnesota shooter thing, which is a huge tragedy. I mean, I hate it. It's really bad. But I guess what irritates me is all of the people coming out now that are just like anti-gun, got to do away with the guns. And blaming the guns, and if it's just not a gun issue.
Yeah. The idea that guns cause violence is widely considered to have been discredited.
Yes, it is. So I don't know. I'm listening to some stuff, trying to do a little digging on the SSRIs and that type of thing. And I mean, it just like when you start looking into it, like
see, now you're bringing up another theory that's widely considered to have been discredited.
Yes, it definitely has been by the powers that be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that maybe all the drugs that we're giving these kids might be related to this.
It might have something to do with it. And like, so I'm listening to Tucker Carlson has a psychologist on his podcast, and I'm only about halfway through listening to it, but it just he seems to lay out a very strong case that since the 90s, it started in the 90s and it's just become worse and worse and worse. And like I say, I mean, that seems to be where the answer is. I don't know what the correct answer or diagnosis is to fix this, but I mean, the first time this happened in a major way was 99 with Columbine. And everything he seems to lay out just makes sense, man, that is where the problem is. It's not the guns. The guns have been there since forever. Like, this is a new problem. And I don't know. But it's irritating to listen to the talking heads and the politicians and stuff. Just look at this one solution as like, well, this is what we have to do.
Just get rid of all the guns.
Yeah. Which, by the way, it's just impossible. Like, you couldn't do it.
That's true too. It doesn't matter. If somebody's intent on killing somebody else or themselves, like, if you take away the guns, they're still going to find a way to do it.
Even if you could wave a wand and take the guns away, you're right. Like, there's plenty of ways to kill people, and there's plenty of ways to kill people more efficiently than guns, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, bombs and poison can be very effective.
This is not an advocacy.
Not advocating. I'm just saying, like, there's like, so to blame the guns is just crazy. But in practice, like, there's no way to disarm this country. I mean, not without killing tons of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, you just couldn't do it.
There's a solution worse than the problem right there.
Exactly. So, I mean, and that's anytime people go down this road of start advocating for more gun control, because that's what they're advocating for, really, is to take the guns away.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to remember, like, is that going to be worse than the problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah. Well, I think that it is. It seems likely to me that the medications must play a part in this. I think that it's a multi-factor issue. I think that just kind of the level of nihilism that we teach now, the complete removal of any kind of idea of objective truth.
Yeah.
I think the hopelessness that we give kids now about that they'll never be able to get a good job, that, they'll be in debt for the rest of their lives, like they'll never be able to buy a home, that the climate's going to kill them in 20 years, that, all of this stuff. I think that all plays a part in creating. And not even to mention like the social media stuff.
Oh yeah, the social
creating a level, like ironically creating a level of isolation for a lot of people, or at least a feeling of isolation.
It is wild how that works, because it seems to be true just from my experience. Like, if I go a few days where I'm spending extra time on social media, like, it messes with your head, man, in a way that I struggle to describe. But it's there. Like, there's something. It's weird, man. And like I say, and I'm on social media, and I'm on it for a couple hours a day, maybe, which is probably way too much now that I even say that.
Yeah.
But it is the truth. But a lot of people are on there a lot more than I am. Like, I don't know. It's not healthy though.
Your alerts are about Taylor Swift, at least, not Facebook messages.
Well, generally they're about football, but there seems to be an intersection here between Taylor Swift and football.
Okay.
So just saying. So I don't know. I just, like I say, I hate to not mention that. This whole situation is just it's a mess, man.
It certainly is. Wow. So we were gonna not talk about war, so we didn't end on a downer.
Yeah, and then I end up railroading us back to the downer.
Well, that's all right. Everybody, take your happy pills now, and it'll all be a lot better.
Oh, please don't. Well, we can end on. So was it last week that was Ron Paul's birthday?
I don't know.
I think it was last week.
I don't keep track of celebrity birthdays.
Well, he turned 90.
Oh wow.
So I mean that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we can wish him a belated happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Ron Paul. Man, last time I saw him.
He still does the Liberty Report.
Yeah, but so he was at the Libertarian Convention.
Was he?
last year?
Okay.
Yeah, and like the Alabama table was right up front.
Nice.
I was like 30 feet from him or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. He's looking kind of frail these days.
He's 90 years old.
I know. It's just sad to think that he's not going to be around.
That we're going to lose
longer.
him. Yeah. No. Yeah.
True
patriot, man.
Yeah. Him, Thomas Sowell's.
Yeah.
Getting pretty old now too, and I don't know. We're gonna lose some people that have been very influential to me. Actually, Thomas Sowell's been way more influential on me than Ron Paul.
Ron Paul's definitely takes that spot for me.
Yeah, I was a Harry Brown guy.
Okay. I like Harry Brown.
That's who got me interested in libertarianism.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it was 100% Ron Paul for me, and it is kind of cool. Like a lot of the country's shifting, and it's nice to see some of these guys are at least getting to see some of it. I mean, I hope the shift continues. Yeah. But I mean, they were definitely seeing things swing that way a little more. So, I mean,
okay.
Not enough, but there's these things.
I hope you're right.
These things take time. The question is will we
the
lose the momentum?
It happens like really quickly.
Yeah.
Like political changes happen very fast.
Yeah.
Like they may build and make very, very tiny like increments of over many years, but like when political change happens, it usually happens in like less than a decade.
Yeah.
Like a complete revolution in the way.
I mean, if you take your landmark as 2020, then we're halfway there.
Okay.
I mean, things are changing quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the next, I don't know. I don't know. I like to be. Well, I forget what the pills are, but I like to be the positive pill on this one. The red pill, blue pill.
Well, neither one's positive or negative. It's the red pill is the open your eyes and see the world as it truly is, and the blue pill is to stay asleep, like remain in the illusion.
Yeah, but they.
So when they say, but like, okay, so the way we talk about it's usually the red pill is the good thing.
Yeah.
But
then what's the black pill?
The black pill is like, this is all complete waste. That's the nihilist pill.
Yeah. White pill. I'm white pilled.
Yeah. Well, the white pill is the everything's honky dory. Is all going to work out great.
Yeah. I believe that. I'm white pilled on this subject.
Okay. Well, cool.
I think you have to be. You can't dwell on the negative. And there are positive things to look at. So I feel good.
Yeah. Focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Okay. So I told this. We may as well end on a story. We're
Sure.
running a little long now. Anyway. So, and I like, okay. I told this story earlier this week, and it's one of my favorite travel stories. So my brother and I were in Santiago, Chile. This is 2006, I guess.
Yeah.
So almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
I was about 30 at the time. And so we were coming home to the family that we were staying with down there. We were coming home. It was like 2 a.m. Because that whole trip was really a bender.
Yeah.
We were doing Spanish classes, and so we'd do our Spanish classes during the day, and then we would go out and we would drink until we couldn't anymore.
Engage with the people.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Get out there, meet some people.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Experience some things. That's the way you have to do travel.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't have to drink necessarily, but you definitely got to get out there.
Yeah, you got to go experience.
So we were coming home at like 2 a.m., something like that. And there's like a light drizzle. It's like not really raining, but you're getting wet as you're walking along, but not really. It's just, it's just kind of a surface level thing. It's okay. So we come up to this major intersection and there's this bus coming. And we learned really early down there that they do not yield to pedestrians.
Right. Pedestrians do not have the right of way.
Yeah. If you see a bus coming, you stay out of its way. It will not stop for you.
Yeah.
So we stand on the corner waiting for the bus to pass before we step out there so we don't get smashed.
Yeah.
And this bus comes by and runs through this big puddle on the side of the road and just unleashes this wave of dirty street water over the both of us. This huge splash soaks us both.
Man.
And I immediately start cursing, man. I like, oh my, and I'm, and I look over and my brother is just, he's got this huge smile on his face. And I'm like, what are you smiling about? And he's like, come on, man, you have to admit, that was pretty funny.
Right.
and I stopped and I was like, yeah, I guess that was.
Yeah.
And so then we're both laughing, soaked in dirty street water. In Santiago, Chile at 2 a.m. on a Thursday or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was a lesson learned there though.
Yeah.
Like, man, just step back and recognize the humor in the tragedy.
Absolutely.
Right? Like there's...
You have to.
All right, so that's my story to end it, I guess. That's
all right.
That's the end of that. All right. Hopefully we'll be better about this.
Yeah, we should get back on schedule. I don't see why not.
I do have a trip in about a month.
Yeah.
And so we'll either need to do something early or late. I am going to see Dr. Miller, and I thought about trying to do another interview with her while I'm there. But I don't think I can take the equipment. Like, it's just too much stuff to travel halfway across the country with.
You don't trust shipping it?
No.
Don't blame you.
I absolutely do not. And I don't particularly trust the airlines, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so that's probably not going to happen. We'll make more of an announcement about it as we get close.
Yeah.
I may be able to pull off something up there, but we probably should either plan to take another week off or plan to try and record something early.
Okay.
And we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And let the audience know. Hopefully better than this last time.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Now we're going to have to build audience again. You missed 1 week, man.
Yeah.
So that makes it extra important to like and subscribe and leave comments and do all those things to help us get the algorithm or whatever. Get the word out, though, and tell your friends. Like, I think we provide some good information and insight here. Yeah. Or I wouldn't keep doing it.
Yeah. Next time you're out of town, I'll just record 60 minutes of dead air.
Yeah, everybody will really appreciate that. Because this is what happens when Gary's told to fill space.
Yeah. We'll get a whole episode of that.
He suddenly runs out of everything to talk about.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, as far as I know, we'll be back next week when we finally get this right. And in the meantime, try to stay free.
Life short, live free.
Ciao.
Later.